Welcome to the Must Love Yarn podcast.
Mm-hmm. It is Thursday.
I've
been like, my week has been so long.
Yeah, mine too.
It is Thursday.
It's the last day of November.
It is?
Can you believe that?
Oh my gosh, that's right. Tomorrow
is December 1st.
That is just crazy to me.
Only 24 more crafting days before Christmas. Mm-hmm. And the internet just exploded. So this is a knitting, crocheting, yarn related podcast.
And it's the Must Love Yarn podcast.
It is.
And we are also a yarn store in Shelburne, Vermont.
We are. And you can find the store out on all social media platforms as Must Love Yarn.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Ravelry, World Wide Web, Periscope.
Even though I don't really use it very much.
And YouTube. iTunes, everywhere. You can just Google Must Love Yarn, and I'm getting texted. And it's showing up on our screen.
Well, at least it doesn't show up on their end, so they don't have to see your text.
I know. I'd have to cut that out.
And I'm Kelly.
And I'm Angela.
And you can find me on Instagram as KELLYSPINS, and you can find me on Ravelry as KELLYSPINS. Those are the two places I am most active and post most of my knitting content.
Yep. And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid. And again, Instagram is definitely where I am the most active with knit-related things. So feel
and
free
stocking
to
knit-related things. Oh my gosh, it's so bad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was so good over the Thanksgiving holiday with staying off of Instagram.
Were you? Good for you.
Because it could have been horrible for my credit card.
Yeah, I was good. I really wasn't online a whole lot, so.
Well, working at the store on Saturday really helped. And Friday, which is another day where I would have maybe spent more time, we were having actual Thanksgiving.
Your Thanksgiving, that's right.
Because my family couldn't come till Friday, so that helped a lot.
Yeah. We hope you guys all had a very good Thanksgiving. And, well, our U.S. viewers, I know there are a couple other places that do Thanksgiving, but there's Canada's is in early October, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody who celebrated. We hope you had a great time with friends and family.
Yes.
And got some knitting in, of course.
Yes, I did. I got a little bit of knitting.
I got some knitting in, too.
So, got some things to show this week. But as we always do this time of the podcast, we are going to share our picks of the week for the week. And I think both of our picks of the week actually also are finished objects. So we're kind of going to hit two birds with one stone.
Although I showed mine last week.
For the price of one.
So, it's sort of, you've already seen it.
In case somebody missed it last week.
Yeah, so if you didn't catch our little short episode that we did right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'll show you it.
It took forever to load, and I was like, I thought it was actually going to load on Thursday, and then I have no idea what my internet did, and it didn't load till early Friday morning. So, all day chucked away for a little bitty episode. It was awesome.
I know that's really, well, you did it at your house too, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Because I was not going to drive to my office just to load a podcast.
Oh, why not?
Why not, you say? Because it should have been fast because it was a small one. But anyway.
It wasn't.
So I'll start with my pick of the week. So my pick of the week this week is Plymouth Select Merino Textura. So this is a great, it's a blend of a superwash fine merino and merino. So you've got these great little like thick and thin and color variations, and it comes in a pretty wide range of colors, which I brought over to show folks. So there's 4. Those look lovely together. And then we have these other 3 in stock. There is also a navy,
beautiful blue,
which we're currently out of. I think I bought the last skein. Sorry.
I think I just
We
put
may
some on
have some more
order.
on order, which
think I
is
did.
good because this blue is
As long as they have it in
Lovely.
stock, then we'll
really
have some
nice
more
bright blue.
coming in.
So you can see there's kind of a marbly effect and
Yeah.
lots of variation in the colors. So-
Because they have those two different wools.
Yep.
And because there is superwash in here, don't be fooled, it's not a machine washable.
Right.
They did that just to give the different textures in the yarn.
Mhm.
So they used a regular non-superwashable and a superwashable together.
So
So
if
that,
you wash this, it will
Yeah.
have felt or partially felt.
yeah. And they did that so, because superwash yarns will take up dye differently than non-superwash yarns. So that's what gives it a little bit
So
of
that's
the color
why you
variation.
are seeing
Yeah.
lighter and darkers in a lot of these. And
Especially
actually,
the really dark ones. you
yeah,
really
if you're
notice
in
it.
person, you can really see the
Yeah.
variations.
It's showing up pretty good on, especially look at that dark
Yeah,
gray one.
Dark gray is awesome.
Yeah. So,
So what I did with these, so these retail for $15.99. There's 228 yards for 100 grams gain. So it's pretty good yardage, or pretty standard yardage for a worsted weight. And what I did was I knit a hat.
it's cute.
So this is 2 strands held double. So it's a quick knit because you're knitting on pretty big needles, and this is the squishy slouchy hat, which
so it's a strand of each color.
Strand of each
one
color.
Strand of each held,
Yep.
held together. Yep.
which you can do either as a kind of a slouchy, or it's long enough that you can fold the brim over.
Nice.
So I was going to see if I could knit 2 hats. And then I
That's
was
right.
getting ready to cast on the second hat, and I was like, I don't need 2 hats of this. I'm going to see if I can find something else to make.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ravelry is my friend. And I went out and found a pattern called the Quick Fancy Gloves.
Well, and if you wanted to, you could like measure the gauge on your hat so you know what size you need to knit.
Yeah, I didn't do that. Gauge.
As I'm sitting here knitting a gauge swatch.
So I made a pair of fingerless mitts.
They're so cute.
That again, I held 1 strand of each.
I love, like, look at that one, how you've got the
I
blue
know.
patch here and a lighter patch here.
And it's just the way it
Just how
is.
it twists when you're
Yep.
knitting it, yeah.
Yep. So I was able to knit both of these. I have this much yarn left over. Partially, I probably would have had more, but I needed, that pom-pom's actually really giant.
Yeah.
So it's a quick knit. I knit both of these in probably a long weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Had them done before Thanksgiving, but we were doing our other episode last week, so did not show them. So I have a great little gift set that's going to be a Christmas gift.
Nice.
With great little fingerless mitts and a nice hat.
That's really cute.
So you could, hold 2 different colors together to get this sort of effect. You could buy 2 skeins of the same color. If you only wanted to knit the hat, you could buy 1 color and just pull from both ends to do the hat out of 1 skein, which is, I think, a pretty affordable project at $15.99 a skein. So that's my pick of the week this week.
Nice.
So fun, fast projects. I think that's going to be my theme the next week or 2 as we head into Christmas, just for ideas for people to get those last minute gifts.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one I'm going to show you guys too is a sweater, but I did it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, and it's not, I mean, this is our busiest time in the year for the store, so it's not like I was just sitting and that's all I was knitting on during the day. It's a really quick knit, and it's because you're knitting it at a really loose gauge.
Yep.
But it doesn't look like it once you've finished it. So I'll just show you guys. So I finished Sigla, which I was wearing on the last video. It's a Mary Jane Mucklestone pattern, and it's knit in the Lettlopi, which is kind of a worsted or Aran weight yarn. it can knit at a looser gauge, and this is knit on size 10.5 needles.
Yeah.
So you can see it's more open.
I think the two that I knit were on 10 or 10
Yeah,
and a half,
so it's quick, and you know, if you're doing a first sweater, this was quite easy, and it's written really well. If you've had any experience doing color work, you know, you're never holding more than 2 colors at the same time. I've seen others of these where they actually, the little triangles are all done in the same color, which would make it even more affordable. So this, I did the medium, and it calls for 6 skeins of your main color, and then 1 skein each of your 4 colors that you do, and you only use a teeny tiny amount. So if you wanted to do all the triangles the same color, you just need 1 skein still. It wouldn't use very much at all. And I ended up actually using just 5 skeins. I used like every last little bit of all 5 skeins, but I didn't get into my 6th skein. I probably could have made it a little bit longer, but I like the way this is. If I do another one, I'd probably make it just a little bit longer, even maybe just like an inch longer. So in that case, I would need the 6th skein. But these are $5.50 a skein, so they're really, really affordable. So you know, if you did just a 2-color one,
it'd be like $35, $36.
Yeah, for a whole sweater, and it's really, really comfortable. I mean, I wear it with a long sleeve tee underneath, and I don't find it. I'm not particularly sensitive to wool. It is Icelandic wool, so it's you know,
not going to be an extra fine merino.
No, it's not. It's a little bit scratchier. It's more rustic, but I love it, and it's really warm, even though you're knitting it at a loose gauge. But that's what makes it more friendly to being able to wear it inside, because it's not really dense. So it's not as hot. So that is my Sigla, and it does have some of the color work down at the bottom. They use 3 colors at the sleeve here, and then you have 4 up here. So you omit the big triangle from your sleeve color. But yeah, it was really, really quick. And this is knit top down. And then she also has one called Stopover, which is knit bottom up. So if you have a preference of the way your sweaters are knit, you could check those both out. I bet the color work pattern would be interchangeable between them.
Probably.
Since they're knit, actually both knit on 10.5 needles. But this was really, really fast to do. So my pick of the week is the Lettlopi yarn. And these are all the colors we have it in.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, so we've got tons.
And this one here is a really dark chocolatey brown.
It is. It's not really showing up very well on there, but yes, so I kind of have them in rainbow order, and then the neutrals are down here. So we've got, you know, kind of a cream, a light gray, a medium gray, and then kind of an oatmeal. This is the color I use for mine, which is actually called oatmeal. I forget which. This is maybe straw. I can't remember. And then the really deep chocolate. It's not black. I actually don't have any of black in stock. This is a really gorgeous blue. It's like lapis, something lapis blue. It's really, really pretty. We have a customer who did a sweater out of this gorgeous royal fuchsia.
Yeah, it was
it's
beautiful.
So pretty. So yeah, so you get 10% off these guys. And what code did we decide to do?
Weekly pick color.
So weekly pick color, Lettlopi and the Plymouth Textura, both great yarns for doing up some quick projects.
And the links to both of these are in the show notes. So it'll take you right to the page for these 2 yarns.
And there's been a lot of sweater patterns out for the Lettlopi lately, especially now that it's back. And you can get it again. You know, for a while there was an issue with distribution in the States anyway. So there's a lot of patterns out there that are doing the really pretty color work yoke sweaters. I know the new Interweave Knits magazine is doing some sweaters that I don't think they use the Lettlopi necessarily, but they use some other yarns that you could use the Lettlopi in if you wanted to.
A couple that I'm eyeballing.
I know, me too. They're really gorgeous. So, yeah. So if you guys have been, you know, wanting to do either a sweater or some accessories. I think those are some great options.
Awesome.
And, you know, I'm going to put this back over here so we have a place for our show notes.
You can kind of see our show notes.
So.
Excellent.
Yeah. I think those will be fun.
So we're both wearing some knits today.
I know. I've got little crumbs from lunch on my knitwear. Sorry.
Yeah, can happen. I have my hydrangea shawl on, which has been like my go-to lately.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I just unearthed mine because I had to wash it because I got something on it. My husband got something. It was on the counter because I took it off before I made dinner one night, and I just stupidly, I should have put it away, put it on the counter, and he set something down, got something out, so I had to wash it, but it had been sitting waiting for a bath for a while.
Yeah.
But,
so
now
nice.
mine will go back into rotation.
It's really lightweight, but it's super warm because it's got some silk in it. But it's been great for these, days where it's like 20 something in the morning, but by the afternoon it's in the 40s. So it's very versatile.
It is.
Whereas my DK weights shawls are more like deep winter.
Yeah, because they're so snuggly and you can really
they're
scrunch
so
them up.
hot.
Yeah.
They're really hot when it warms up in the afternoon. So
Yeah.
So and you're wearing a sweater we haven't seen.
So I am wearing
on the
a sweater.
podcast before.
Yeah, I haven't. Have I worn this? I don't think I have worn it on the podcast. No. So this is a sweater I did a few years ago. I don't remember exactly when I did it. It was fairly soon after Amy Herzog started her
the custom fit.
The custom fit computer online thing that she did. So now I know she's got tons of her patterns that are just already in there. But when she first started it, it was basically you take all your measurements and you put them in and you tell it, what style of sweater you want to do, what neckline you want to do, how long you want to make it, and that kind of thing. And then you can customize it a little bit more with here or there with ribbing or not ribbing or rolled edge, or so there it wasn't as much there weren't as many options as there are now, where it's now you can pick a pattern and be like, oh, I really like this, I want it my size. And now it automatically puts those numbers in for you. So this is one that I just kind of did. So it doesn't really, there's not really a pattern associated with it. Yeah. It's just a V-neck pullover. This one's kind of cropped. So I have it with I've got a long tunic on underneath it, and so it works well for that. Yeah. I have to kind of pair it with different things, because if I wear it just with a regular shirt and jeans, it cuts me right off. But if I wear it with something longer, like a tunic, then it works. So it's one of those pieces that you kind of have to play with a little bit in your wardrobe and figure out what works with. But I love the color. So the yarn is Enchanted Knoll Farm yarn, and I think she's in New Hampshire.
Okay.
New Hampshire or Maine, I can't remember. I follow her on Instagram too, but it's her yarn, and I believe it's a merino silk. I have to double check. I didn't look before we started podcasting, but I'll link. Anja's already got it linked in show notes, so I will. That'll be there for you guys, so you can check that out. It's really, really soft yarn. It was nice to knit with.
Nice.
And it's a worsted weight. So worsted or DK?
It looks worsted.
I think I knit it. Did I knit it at a worsted gauge? I think it's worsted. Don't hold me to it, but I think it's worsted.
Check her project page. Probably says.
Yeah. Look at my project. That's why I make those project pages, because I remember, and for a little while, and I'm like, I will remember, and then you don't. After a while, it's just that just clears out of your head because you need that space for something else.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, so it's really nice and warm, and it's a good layering piece. I've been really into layering. Well, I do anyway, but I've been trying to be more thoughtful about putting outfits together, because it makes it easier in the morning getting ready.
Yep.
But I really like layering, especially spring and fall. You never know what the weather's going to be like. Lately we've had days where it's been 20, and then we've had days where it's 50. So, and it may start out really cold, or it may start really warm, and then temperature change. Yep. So you have to have a lot of pieces that you can adjust throughout the day.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So layering is definitely a plus.
Yes. So I had one more finished object. Since we're on the topic of quick gifts or quick things to knit for people. You guys may have remembered a few weeks ago I started the cup cozy using the wool stock. And there was nothing wrong with the pattern. The pattern was fine. But it was not working for me.
There's sometimes you just don't click with something.
Just, I was not clicking, and I still want to go back and make it, and I may still, eventually, but I think I was just frustrated because I felt like a cup cozy shouldn't take me a huge amount of time to make. And that one, they were having you knit it at a really tight gauge, which is fine. But it wasn't working for me. So I went hunting for.
Well, it's hard because you knit really tightly too.
Well, and I think that's part of the problem too.
Yeah. Probably if you had gone
up a needle size, it might have been fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I went to hunting to see if I could find one that would go more quickly, and I did. I found this one with a cable. Most of them have cables, and this is the cabled cup cozy. You can just search for cabled cup cozy in Ravelry, but you're gonna get a whole bunch of patterns.
A lot of them.
So I've linked my project page in the show notes, so that's probably the best if you want to make this one. It used, for me, less than 10 grams.
Nice.
So I have that 50-gram skein of the wool stock.
You can do 4 more.
I could do 4 more if I so chose. This one's going to be for a gift. I need to find a cup for it to go on, because this cup's mine, and I'm not giving it away. But it was quick. I knit this in like a day, like a Sunday.
Yeah.
So it was really fun. It was knit on 6s. Just more of what I had in mind a project like this should take from a time standpoint. And also that instant gratification that it's done. So if you have, scraps, worsted weight scraps laying around, this would be a great project for that.
Mm-hmm.
So fun.
Yeah,
it's going to be a teacher gift.
That's a great idea.
So probably I'll get a little mug and then like a gift card for a coffee shop to go in.
Nice.
And done. So
That's so funny. When did teacher gifts become a thing? I don't ever remember when I was a kid really doing teacher gifts for
I think
teachers.
they've gotten more. Well, my dad was a school teacher, and so he would always. We had mugs and
really,
yeah, people would give him stuff at Christmas time. So it's
so
just
funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, and I think that teachers deserve every little bit of what they get.
Well, it's like anything, it's the the gift bags at birthday parties and all this stuff.
That's true.
So I don't know.
I mean, I definitely enjoy giving more than receiving, but it's
Still, it's got.
Sometimes it's a little. The expectations are sometimes a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
But whatever.
So I think what that means is we probably all have some new whipses on the needles.
Whipses.
So you've got something.
I am swatching. So once my other whips that
They're so good.
that I'm gonna show you after is done, I saw this sweater pattern come up in my queue, and I just fell in love with it. And some of it was the color, and some of it's the pattern itself. But I really, really love it. So I will show you the pattern first. It is HUMULUS by ISABELL KRAEMER, and it's cool. So these are little hops. This is what a hops flower looks like, if you guys are not beer drinkers. And so her sweater is called HUMULUS because that's the Latin name of the hops
Awesome.
plant. There's a lot of different hops out there, but I forget which part of the whole Latin. There's all the different parts of the Latin name. But so that's part of the name of the hops.
Nice.
It's HUMULUS, so that's why it's called HUMULUS. And I'm doing very similar colors to what she did. Hers is more of a gold tone in there, like a yellowy gold. And I'm gonna do, well, if my swatch comes out well, I picked Quince & Co. Owl,
Nice.
which is their wool and alpaca base. And I am doing the color Albertine and chamomile.
Nice.
So mine's going to be more green tone. The chamomile is definitely more greeny, which actually which is gonna look a lot like hops. So if I go out to the brewery tasting and somebody's like, "That's hops," I'm like, "Why, yes, it is."
Why, yes, it is.
So anyway, that's what I'm doing, and it's really, really nice and soft. And actually, that Sigla that I showed you guys too, I'm pretty sure in her project, on the project page for the actual sweater, that you can use. Is it that one, or is it? There's another one maybe that you can actually use the owl for too. I can't remember which one.
It might be Make Way for Fall, or
It might be. There's some great color work patterns out right now.
So I'm so glad that color work is back.
Me too, I know. It's really fun. So this is my little swatch. I'm doing it out of the green because I was going to be close on the main color, so I didn't want to do the swatch out of that, and I'm going to have plenty of the contrast color. So I was like, I'll just use that for swatching because it's not going to make a difference which color I swatch with. But she actually, so Isabelle KRAEMER, if you follow her on Instagram, she just did, so this is obviously, she knits one for like getting pictures taken and like the pattern itself and whatever, but she's knitting one, she just, I think, finished it. She's incredibly fast knitter, much faster than me. I guess if that's what all you had to do is, you know, perpetuate your patterns, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
She knit one and the body was this color, but then in for the color work part, she held like 4 strands of a metallic thread together. It is so pretty. It looks like a cop with all 4 of them held together. They're all different
like
colors. It turned out like this really cool coppery color. It's beautiful. So go check out her Instagram page. What is her username? It's like Lilu, or I can't remember. I'll try to remember to put it in show notes so that you guys can. I'll write it myself a note. So here. On the back.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, I will put Instagram username so that you guys can find it easily. You can just click on it. Maybe I can actually just link right to the picture too. That would be even easier.
Awesomer.
Awesomer. That's okay. We can't talk it all today.
Look, it's little Boxy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
A whole lot of stockinette.
A whole lot of stockinette, and this keeps flipping up. So I'm at almost 8 inches out of like 12. Nice. So we're getting there. I'm on the other side. The slide, the downhill slide. As soon as I divide for the sleeves, it'll be awesome. So this is Little Boxy by Joji Locatelli, which may actually turn out to be a gift. It was intended to be a gift, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get it done in time for Christmas.
It's so cute.
Thank you.
So cute.
It's fun. It's the best just pick up and go project because it doesn't matter where in the row I stop at this point, which is one advantage to having a stockinette style
boxy sweater
on the needles.
No increasing and decreasing,
that's
just
right.
a whole lot of stockinette.
Around and around and around, and if I get interrupted from my kids or whatever, I can just set it down and it doesn't matter.
That's nice.
So I'm making some progress on that. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have divided for the sleeves by next week. Mm-hmm. If I have the sleeves divided by next week, I think I'll be pretty good in terms of being able to get it done in time for Christmas. Nice. My next go-to would be for birthday, except for this little child was born right after the Christmas holiday, so I don't.
So you don't have a whole lot of extra time for that
buffer. Yeah, but I could maybe just send a picture and be like, "It's not done yet." She's young enough that it wouldn't really matter. So we'll see. We will see.
All right, so I'm going to show you my very next project.
And is your next one is our knit along that we have going on.
It is our knit along.
So maybe we can both show.
We can, but I have to show you first, and I have to do a very special shout out.
We can both. We're both. Look, both. Both.
I know. So we're using these bags. Look at this.
Look at how cool these are.
We have talked to you guys before about Katie's Creation Shop. Mm-hmm. And Katie was kind enough. She sent us some bags that we gave away to you guys. Remember the really adorable llama bag, and then the messy creative one? I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was super cute. We did those as giveaways. Well, so Katie sent us more bags, and she sent us 4 sets. So they're this size project bag, which
Kelly and I pinched 2 for ourselves.
We did, because I don't have a single Christmas one.
I don't know,
which is crazy. So this may not look very Christmassy to begin with, but oh my gosh, look at this. So
I know, it's great.
Look at the little squirrel holding the star. There's little ornaments hanging down from the tree branches, and there's a little pony and deer and foxes, and there's a wolf on one side, and oh my gosh, look at that. Isn't that the cutest? So it is so stinking adorable.
And I just went with the traditional Christmas trees and
I really like that.
Actually,
one too.
I was referring to it as the Santa one. And
That's
Kelly's
right. I'm like,
Kelly's
Santa, there's
which
not
one
a
do you
Santa
want?
one.
I'm like, I want the Santa one, and she was like, what? I was like, no, the Santa one. And she's like, and I was like, that one right there. She goes, the one with the snowman on it. I was like, yes, that one.
So Katie was gonna know. She sent us 4 sets.
We
have 2 others, and it was the hardest for me to decide. So there's another one. I should have brought them over here, but we'll show them. Maybe we'll grab them. So Sunday we're doing another live.
We'll show them at the live.
We'll show them at the live one, and we're waiting on our Christmas sock yarn to come in. It's taking forever.
Yeah, whatever's up with that.
It's probably because everybody loved
wants
it, and so they're having a hard time keeping it in.
Yep.
So what we're hoping to do is to put some yarn together to give away for prizes, and these bags are just stunning.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if we're going to give them away right before Christmas or if we're going to do it on our New Year's Eve. Obviously, they're Christmas themed, so we'd love to be able to, but hey, I keep going right through the season to keep Christmas spirit going.
This has Santa snowman, so I will use this in July because it's awesome.
So here is Katie's card, and it's a little bit of a glare on there. So she's on Instagram, Facebook, Etsy. She's got a store, and she'll do custom pieces too. And so I just want to share this information with you guys. She's got some great fabrics. We'll link to her in show notes, so that you can click right there and find it. But I love, look, the handle. It's a nice, and it's got like the stiffening in it, so it's a nice, great handle.
And these came, both Kelly and I were talking, both of these came with a little,
I know, I didn't grab mine.
Pouch, and I've left mine at home.
Mine is here, and I should probably just grab it, and I should grab the other ones. I'm going to go do that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So the little Notions pouch that matches mine. So this is the same interior fabric on the inside of my bag, and it's got a couple of little pieces. And then the back, look at this shiny fabric. It's like a really cool woven shiny fabric. It's so cute. And it's got a little tab over here. Just really nice details, and she's got her label inside. Both of them. So the other 2, they're great. I love this little nail one.
Yeah.
So it's all these it's a little envelope. I had a hard time because I really loved this. I love them all. Yeah. So I had the hardest time choosing. I was like, really, I have to?
I know, and this one is
so pretty. Look at that. With the little reindeer over here and the snowflakes. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm not going to take them out of here. I'll leave them in here so they're nice and pristine for you guys. Yep. But they're just really, really lovely. So thank you, Katie, so much. It was so generous of you. And we decided to treat ourselves and each take them. But we like doing that too, because then if we're out knitting with them, people ask about it. Yep, and we love being able to promote all the other makers that way too. So so thank you very much. We really, really appreciate.
So we've got those. We'll be giving those away as prizes. Yes. Which is
we'll let you guys know. Yeah. Yeah, we're so thrilled that we're going to be able to give those to more of her gorgeous bags to you guys. So and
what is so funny is that both Kelly and I have our slouchy pullovers
in those bags. I know, isn't that the coolest thing?
So maybe we'll have to give those bags away as prizes for the
slouchy pullover.
Alone, or at least one of them.
Do you want me to go talk about my slouchy pullover?
Sure. So I don't know, as you're digging it out. So the last podcast we announced the Slouchy Pullover Knit Along, and the Slouchy Pullover is a church mouse yarn and tease pattern, which can be knit in 2 different types of yarn. The one Kelly's working on is 4 strands of like a mohairy type yarn, and Kelly used the drizzle, which we've shown
the sugar brush yarns. Yep.
And I'm
just doing more of this style.
Whatever yarn that's called.
Stratus.
It's
the one
so
that
on
you're
top
doing.
of it, which is an Aran weight. I will say if you're using a Stratus, please make sure you swatch. I did not swatch, and I had to buy more yarn because I didn't swatch. Probably should have gone up in needle size, but at this point,
And Ange is a tight knitter too.
I'm a
so.
tight knitter. So swatch.
Look, it like matches perfectly. It's awesome.
Mine does too, because I'm doing the green.
Oh my gosh, you guys! I was so close to having this done for you before this. I am really close. But the thing is, so far I've used a total of 8 skeins, and I have like this much more on a sleeve to go. So I've got 1 more skein of each of the yarns, and I'm tempted. I could probably get away with it if I pull out my swatch. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. If I'm just going to ball up. So I did buy. So I had total. I'll probably use about 10 skeins. So 5 of each color, and so I'm going to ball up the others together like I did for this one. So for this one I took,
because that one holds 4 strands together.
4 strands together.
Yep.
So, it's not hard. You just have to kind of pay attention and make sure, my God, this is all wrapped around itself.
I know.
Just have to make sure that, you catch all 4 strands when you're knitting with them, so that you don't leave one kind of left hanging in the back. Yeah. So I took the balls and I wound them together in a skein, which was easier for me than having to fight with 4 separate ones. And, I could have them in different project bags or whatever, divided out. But with the dogs running around, sometimes they run through where I've got my yarn, and they get Winnie especially gets hung up in it. And then she's like, "Oh!" and she starts chewing on it because she thinks it's like a giant spider web or something.
Right. So
anyway, I've got to, I'm going to take those 2 that I have left. I'm going to ball it into 1 ball with the 2 strands, and then I think what I'll do is just pull from both ends of the skein, since it's really, I don't have that much more at all to work on. So let me show you what I do have. Let's see, this is the back.
Whoa,
so there it
nice.
is.
Look at that.
Yeah, so that left sleeve is done. The right sleeve.
Did you do the short row shaping on
I
the
did
sleeve?
not. Because I tried it on and it comes down pretty far on my hand as it is now, after I got all of the rows done that they tell you to do. So I decided just to, I know, isn't it? So I decided to do just a straight sleeve. And I have a lot of the shirts like that I wear underneath sweaters that have the hand covers anyway, like I do today. So I didn't want a sweater that did that too, because it's easier for me to just kind of, these, if I need to use my hands, I just roll them up over the cuffs of my sweaters. And they stay, whereas if it was the sweater, it would be dragging down, and I didn't want it to do that. So, yeah. So I just, once I get that other sleeve done, then I just have to seam, so you do the whole.
And we are talking about doing a tutorial for the seaming for folks. So
yeah, and we could probably do one for picking up stitches too, because I know a lot of people have a hard time with picking up stitches. And
see, I'm almost done with my first sleeve, so so this is how quick this project is, guys.
super quick. So we started this a week ago from this past Monday. Well, that's when I started, and Ange was right around the same time.
So I'm almost done with my first sleeve.
Yeah. So it was super quick.
I was kind of at the point where I was trying to decide if I wanted to do the short row.
Mm-hmm.
And I may not. The one thing I don't know, so this is what happens when you don't swatch. I don't know what this yarn's going to do when it hits the water. And it might grow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually kind of hoping that it's going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, because I haven't picked up for this second sleeve, I will see if when I get ready to do that, if I'm at a place where I could
Sit
throw
down and video.
the camera on it,
Yeah.
and do a quick tutorial, and then tell Kelly not to watch it because I probably do it wrong.
Well, and the other thing for mine, so my row gauge was different than the row gauge, and I don't fuss about it. If my row gauge is off, you just kind of I go with it, and then I do the math and figure out what I need to do differently.
Yeah.
So for picking up stitches for me, I think in the pattern they say 2 stitches for every 3 rows, and mine didn't work out like that at all. I had to pick up.
I picked up extra stitches.
I didn't end up picking up any extra stitches because I picked up the number that they told me to for the pattern, and then I looked at it to make sure it wasn't really gappy or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they have you use a much smaller needle size, so that first row is really kind of nice and tight, which does make a difference. So I picked up the same number of stitches that they told me to, but I had to pick up more frequently. No, I had to I was almost 1 stitch for every 2 rows.
Interesting.
So yeah, so I and in places I had to stagger and pick up more frequently, but
picked up 4 extra stitches.
Did you?
2 on each side.
Yeah.
And then I just decreased them out.
Yeah.
Which for
you
me
could actually you could look and you may
Yeah.
not necessarily have to decrease them down if you wanted a little bit looser arm.
Yeah.
So.
And that was me picking up their recommended number of stitches, which is really odd. Makes me sort of head tilt a little bit because my row gauge is so off that when I follow the pattern, this part I had to do extra rows because it was based on length, but the part from the underarm up to the shoulder, I usually find sweaters are too big for me, so I just follow the pattern knowing that my row gauge was off. So it seems weird that I would have to pick up more stitches because I'll have to take my shawl off of it. I put mine on.
I've got a sweater on a sweater. So yeah, it is drop sleeve, and
mine's a little snugger. Again, that was the gauge issues, but I think when this hits the water, it'll be just fine.
Yeah. I told my husband that I was gonna look like Chewbacca.
Schmuck. You have schmucks.
Smocks.
You have smocks.
You're gonna look like Shrek, and I'm gonna look like Chewbacca.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh, that's so funny because it's fuzzy.
Yep.
I can't do that like he does. So.
You know what? Have you seen the Star Wars mask that I have? I'll bring it on
Sunday.
Sunday.
Oh my god, that's
the Chewbacca one that makes the actual noise. I'm bringing it with me on Sunday.
So when my sweater's done, I can wear the sweater.
Halloween next year. Done.
Oh my god. But that means I have to make matching pants.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I think I need to lengthen the sleeve a little bit. It's going to be too short if I stop right now.
Yeah.
So anyway, slouchy pullover. So we weren't kidding when we said this was a super quick knit.
Super quick.
Super quick.
I've had this sitting on the counter here at the store, and everybody's like, once they touch it, they're like, oh my god. Because it is really, really, really soft.
And so I have this in my Katie's Creations project bag.
It's like the perfect size for this project.
It is.
Because the sweater is so super squishy.
Yep. So anyway, so that's going on now through the end of the year, and the plan is to drop prizes at the New Year's Eve live event, live YouTube event that's happening. Woo!
Sorry, I'm just zipping my sweater in. Trying not to.
So those are, I think, our works in progress. I have Jody listed on the list, and I did work on Jody. I added a few, which is a DK weight shawl.
That's right.
But I forgot it. It's at home, so I don't have it to show.
What about your purpley one? Your non-spinnery.
I haven't been working on that one. Got set aside.
Oh, for new shinies.
Yeah, I started picking up some other stuff.
Yeah,
That's not
and
that,
Christmassy.
Yeah, Christmas stuff. It's
presents
not that far away from being done.
Wow.
So yeah, those two they're not. There's nothing wrong with the pattern. They're not in timeout. I got distracted with other things.
I hear you.
Not surprising.
I hear you.
So
Yeah.
and in fact, I am so distracted. I have no idea what I want to cast on next. So
I've been like on a sweater kick lately.
I think it's going to be a sweater.
I after doing the Sigla in a couple weeks and then doing the slouchy pullover in a couple weeks, and it's like reinvigorated my want to knit sweaters.
I think it's going to be a sweater. It might be stopover. It might be I don't know. I think there's too many choices. That's part of the issue right now, is that I'm having a hard time making a decision about what I want to do. So so kind of as we alluded to, we have some events coming up this Sunday, December 3rd, starting at noon Eastern Standard Time. We are having another YouTube Live event.
Yep. And if you're subscribed to the channel, you will get a notification
as soon as we go live.
Yep. And it'll actually, I think people got a notification ahead of time reminding them. That was because you
scheduled a live
it.
event, and then when we started the live event, it didn't go. I don't know. We're not going to schedule one because I don't know what happened with the scheduled one. It was in a different location. Anyway, we're just going to go live.
We're going to go live.
We're going to go
at
live
noon.
at noon
From my house.
From Kelly's house. It'll be sweet. And I'll bring the Chewy mask. If I can find it, I think it got put away. Because Abigail does not like it at all.
Oh.
But yeah, it would be awesome. So we're doing that. We are also going to do a live YouTube event on New Year's Eve. It's going to be roughly 7 p.m. We're still trying to, and by we I mean I'm trying to sort out what time's going to work for my family and my kiddos. And
because she's got kids going to bed at
roughly
early
that
hours, so it's tough to.
So trying to sort out what's going to work the best. So that's happening. We have a newly announced trunk show that's happening December 16th with Fiber Stash, one of our local indie dyers here. So that'll be Saturday the 16th from noon to 3.
Yep.
We're super excited about that.
Oh, I love Christy's
fantastic.
Yarns. She does some really gorgeous yarns.
Yep.
And she does fiber too, and sock blanks, and all kinds of fun stuff. So she's done some really great stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. We have 2 knit-alongs that are currently going on. We have our sock-along, which is, oh my god, every day I go out and there are new socks in the finished object thread. It's awesome. So finish those socks, get them posted in there. We'll pull prizes on the live event on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And I suppose we should throw a thread up for the slouchy since we've managed to make pretty good progress.
And I know some people have bought yarn for it. So
I'm super excited.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the others and the different colors.
Yeah.
It'll be really fun.
It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
So that's also running through the end of the year.
Yep.
Kelly and I are working on a couple new knit-along ideas for 2018 with one of our dyers, maybe doing some kits. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
It'll be super fun. And we also have our 2,000 subscriber giveaway. We're getting really close.
We just passed 1,800, so we've got 200 more. So if you've got friends that haven't subscribed yet and you want to help push us over that, tell them to check us out. And it's for the YouTube.
Yep, the YouTube channel.
So we're almost there. Look, there's Carol.
Hey, Carol. And we're putting together what we're calling a Taste of Vermont prize, and that has some wing and a prayer farm, and we're going to put some other Vermont goodies in there, so it'll be pretty cool.
we've got lots of great things
Yes, we do.
here in our good old state of Vermont.
We do. We've got some new books in the store. It's been a book-heavy week.
Yeah, books and magazines. We've been getting them in. We've got a lot just that I restocked, books that just are great, like botanical knits.
Mm-hmm.
That book, we sell through that all the time.
It's beautiful.
Just, they have some really lovely, Alana Dacos has some just really classic designs.
Yes, she does.
With that kind of botanical feel to them. A lot of times leaves or some sort of adornment that it comes from nature, which is really appeals to me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But we do have some very new ones that I know you guys are really excited about too.
So just in is Knitting Outside the Box by Bristol Ivy.
Yeah.
So this has been a hot one.
There's, I think, 15 patterns in the book, but then she also does, and it does have a download code too. We won't show that, but
that you can add all of the patterns to your Ravelry library,
that's
which is
fantastic.
nice. So there's everything from shawls. We're gonna get some glare. There you go.
She's got some great
to
sweaters. Yeah, there's some really beautiful things in it.
I was just gonna look to see if they had sometimes they're doing pages that just have all the patterns. It looks like that's not.
Yeah.
Lots of really cool shawls. And if you're on the fence about whether you want to buy a book like this, one of the great things you can use Ravelry for is you can go out and find this book on Ravelry or this collection, and you can see all of the patterns that are in the book, and you can take a look at it and make an informed decision about whether it's something that you want to buy or make the investment with.
Yep.
So that's a really cool feature of Ravelry if you were not aware that you could do that.
So the hard copy book, which does come with a code so that you can download them on all the patterns on Ravelry, so they'll be in your library as well digitally. Retails in the States for $38.50.
Yeah.
So it's great, and she does a ton of stitch patterns in there too.
Yeah.
So you can really customize pieces, and
I mean, like this sweater is just
it's really lovely, and she does some really cool construction techniques a lot of times, and it's just a really lovely book. So we have quite a few copies of this book in stock.
Oh, of course I find the sweater that's knit out of lace weight yarn.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
What else would you find? But yeah, she does some really lovely pieces.
Yep. We also have the most current issue of Taproot.
This is a fantastic magazine if you like cooking, if you like embroidery, hand sewing, if you like knitting, if you like gardening. There's a little bit of something in here for everybody. There's actually, in this particular issue, there's a wood spoon carving article. There's an article about doing little lavender sachets embroidered.
Making feta.
Yeah, there's an article about making feta. There's an article about lavender in here. So this issue is called Rest, so it's all about things that are to kind of inspire rest in your life.
Yep.
Who couldn't use that?
There's some nice knitting patterns in here.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really, I love it every time it comes, and I always learn something new from it, and it's just a magazine that you want to sit down with and just like thoroughly go through and read. The articles are really well written.
Cool,
yeah, they do like Christmas gift tags. They have a lot of that kind of stuff downloadable from their website, like jar labels and things like that.
Yeah,
so if you
really
go to
cool.
Taproot's website, it's really cool. I love it. So they're publishing, and they used to be more based out of Shelburne, the same town that we're in. Publishing still happens here in Shelburne, but they just moved their offices to Portland, Maine. So, and they're actually, I think they're starting like a cafe and some other
cool.
stuff over in Portland too.
Super
so,
cool.
that's very cool. Which they're just great people. So check out Taproot if you haven't, because I love it. It sells for $12. And subscriptions are available. Obviously, we don't sell the subscriptions, but we do carry the magazine regularly. So if it's something you want to get through us, we're more than happy to do that too.
And then the latest issue of Pom Pom Quarterly is also here. So this is another one that you can go look at the patterns on Ravelry to see if it's something that you are interested in. They do have some great. I don't believe you can get the patterns individually for a while. That are
they usually do wait a while before they make them available to the public. But there's some really great patterns in here. They do articles. They do a recipe in here, which is kind of neat. They did a winter salad recipe in there. Look at that shawl. It's like a mosaic stitch shawl, it looks like.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's really pretty.
It's a
brioche hat. That's really pretty. I like how they did kind of the purple tones in this. Some socks. So there's really a little bit of everything. Oh, colorwork sweater with cables. It's got a little bit of everything on it, right?
Yep.
So that's really cute. Really cute. Kind of an oversized sweater, which, we've seen the more kind of oversized pieces too, which is kind of cool. That's really pretty too. Look at all these pretty things.
I know.
Oh, this sweater. This is actually out of Lettlopi. This sweater is a really kind of cool cardigan. Great weekend sweater you just pull on,
Yep.
So that's really cute. Oh, this sweater is really cool too. It's called Tubular.
Nice.
So, and then there's another cable-y sweater with some baubles. So great issue. I was looking through here and it looks like some really nice pieces.
Yeah. So we've linked to all of these. They're all available on our website. So if anything caught your eye, we have those and can ship them.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's probably about all I've got anyway for this week.
I don't have anything else.
And we're close to an hour, although Aunt Jessica cut out a section when I went off to get some
A little less.
some pieces. But yeah, check us out if you're around on Sunday, noon Eastern Standard Time. We'll be coming to you live, so you can interact with us, which is so much fun. Hopefully we'll have my sweater done by then.
No pressure for me to finish mine.
So I might have that done, and maybe I'll have my swatch finished and washed so that I can cast on HUMULUS, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
that
about does it for now.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us.
Yes,
we
thanks
really
for stopping
appreciate
by.
that. Feel free to follow either of us in our regular or personal Instagram and Ravelry pages, and also for the store as well. We love kind of seeing what you guys are working on and everything else. Oh, my chicken update.
Oh my god.
My one of my chickens started laying eggs. They're like this big, they're teensy. Bob he had like 3 for breakfast this morning. I'm like, if you have 3, then we're only going to be out of eggs of our eggs, because I have been buying store-bought eggs or local eggs. But yeah, so they're teensy tiny. We've got one girl who's doing her thing.
Yes.
Now we're just hoping she'll convince the others that
they need to
start too.
Excellent.
I know. So I was so excited when I got the first one. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah. So eggs.
Yay! And in the winter even.
I know. I was like, they're gonna start laying, and then it's gonna be like really cold. So then they'll stop laying. Well, they won't stop completely, but because they're young. So. Yeah. But anyway, so that's a chicken update for you guys. Yay! They're all still doing great.
Nice.
Even though my husband threatens them daily. Not really. Not seriously.
So much pressure.
I know. Poor things.
Maybe they have performance anxiety.
I know. Well, it's so funny. A lot of people put curtains up on their nesting boxes, and I was like, oh, maybe they need curtains to give them a little privacy. Well, she usually does wait to lay her egg until all the other ones are outside, and then she comes back in and lays it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe chickens do need curtains.
Some people say that they lay better.
They like privacy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Who wouldn't?
It's true. That's true. Well, until next
now we're
week.
really done.
Next week. We will, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah,
We'll see
thank
you
you guys.
all next time. Sunday, if we don't see you Sunday, we'll see you next week.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Bye.
Oh.
Figure out when we're going to start.
Figure it out.
Oh. You're swatching. You're so good.
I'm doing something.
Something's happening there.
I gotta get a little slightly untangled. What is going on? I think my needle looped around itself. There we go. Unless I just looped it back around and then, you get over there. You
I
get
wonder
over there.
if, does this, oh no, I was gonna like tuck that.
You need like a little clamp on it or something.
Yeah.
A little piece of tape even.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's double-sided and now I can't read it.
Aww. Foiled.
Too low. Too low. Good thought though.
Man. Gotta be somewhere we can hang it. Rats.
Do we just need like I probably have like a butterfly clip in my bag over there.
Or we probably, I think I have like a spare clipboard, which would cover the,
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
Oh, well.
We'll
We'll
get through
figure
it.
something. We'll get fancy soon.
We'll get through it.
If we get too fancy, people will be like, "Who are these people?
We're too professional.
What happened? What happened to them?"
Goodness gracious.
You're kind of there. There. Oh, you have to sit closer together.
Am I gonna have to be like the podcasters that take their glasses off?
No, I think you're fine.
As long as there's not too much glare. My glasses are smaller, so.
I think you're okay.
What am I doing? I'm purling, that's
You're
why.
purling. Okay. So are we ready to get this show on the road?
I suppose we are.
I suppose so.
I suppose. I might have to switch to metal needles with this yarn. To like
Yeah.
Or knitless or something. Anyway,
We'll
I'm
just
gonna do that.
Do it.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sing to you.
La la la. La la loo.
She's back. I'm back.
I haven't been doing a very good job of entertaining them.
That's okay. You can just cut a lot
I am
of
going
it
to cut it out and throw some of it in outtakes.